So we are going to be going over what is going to be happening in patch 12.10. A lot of big changes are coming, and I want to explain pretty much what this means for Kayn. So first things first, we'll be introducing some changes to increase the durability of every champion. We'll also reduce the overall amounts of damage in League. So obviously a lot of people have noticed that Assassins are very strong. They do a lot of damage. There's way too much damage in the game. A lot of sustained champs, a lot of tanky champs just aren't really too viable unless those champions could do a lot of damage, which is just not a very healthy state for the game. I think it's been this way for like the past 5 months, and now Riot is finally realizing, okay, it's time to dial it back. And as I was mentioning earlier, you can kind of tell this was coming because
By
of
the way,
items
this
like
is
Hullbreaker.
Karasmai,
Yo,
who
Bar,
unironically
it's been
won
6
this
months,
game.
welcome back.
Hello Kayn Senpai, keep
Hello.
up the great work and keep her head up. Karasm Karasmai ya Karasm Gazm.
Thank you, my boy. So yeah, you could pretty much tell this was gonna happen because of the changes to, a lot of items. A lot of items are more catering towards bruiser champions to kind of see if they can fit in the meta alongside assassins. They can coexist, but that's just not a very plausible thought process. So either assassins are very strong or bruisers are very strong. So with the addition of changing Swain and other champions into more AP bruisers, AD and AP are gonna have their own type of bruiser champion. So the base health gonna go up. Health per level, gonna go up. Armor per level, gonna go up. Magic resist per level, gonna go up. We're gonna make a lot of runes a lot better. We're gonna make Frost and tanky champs a lot better. And if they're playing tanks, Red is great. He's an anti-tank. They're playing bruisers, Red and blue are kind of hard, but I might be going more blueser builds, more purple Kayn. Purple Kayn has not been seen too often this year, so expect to see that. If you don't know what purple Kayn is, I have some videos on that. I suggest you go check them out. Okay, so this increases in durability, also necessitates some adjustments to the surround systems of the Rift. Make sure they are correctly tuned relative to the increased durability. These include nerfs to sustain and buffs to Baron, turrets, and mana regeneration. So games are going to be going on longer, a lot more value in scaling runes. I find that to be very good. Create more pressure on team fighting. So a close team fight, even if you win, two people can't do the duel of the Baron, and I think that's a good idea. Before we dive deeper into what to expect update, let's look at how we got here and why we believe higher durability is good for League. More durability. Does players agree there's currently too much damage in League? While tons of damage can be accelerated. Before talking about the changes themselves, we want to reassure you that we aren't trying to create a meta where there are no kills by 15 minutes into the game. There are actually quite a few things we like in the current state of League. Pros of lower survivability include a sizable amount of players enjoy high kill games. No, I essentially understand what they're trying to say here. What they're trying to say is they don't dislike fighting. They just dislike that if one person's ahead, they could just one-shot whoever, whenever. It doesn't matter what they build. They want to structure the game more towards, early skirmishes, like really long trades that are very skillful. So more skill involving the kills and a lot more team fighting. So there's going to be a lot of deaths and there's going to be a lot of killing. It's just going to be more structured instead of just, hey, you overstepped, I ignite you, I have a lot of true damage, or some weird gimmicky way to one shot somebody, which is typically from assassins, but pretty much just adding more skill to the game, which is I like that idea. Okay, what to expect? We still think the league is at its best with fast-paced, high-intensity combat. Very true. Now that it's gone too far in that direction, we need to rein it back a bit. We don't think any particular champions, items, or systems are out of line. Why we're increasing durability across the board rather than removing or toning down specific offensive sources. Great idea. I think that's amazing. Players will feel that their champions are taking less damage. Okay. First champions must commit more resist or be further ahead to get quick kills. Amazing. Amazing. Real direct nerf into champions like Assassin Kayn and just assassins in general, but this is great. Assassins are just too broken. They've been broken as long as I can remember. Okay. Bigger windows of opportunity for counterplay. Skirmishes and team fights will last longer. That's a big one. I think this is probably one of the most important ones, especially with champs like Rost or Bluezer. The longer a fight goes off, the more you stack your Conqueror, the more you can get your abilities off, and every ability will heal you for a large amount. So for Rost specifically, that will be amazing. For Blue Kayn, and doing more of a bruiser build, it can work if you take Conqueror and you're spamming your E's in fights. You're going to be a lot stronger and you're going to be a lot healthier, which I think is great. Durability is the only thing we'll be adjusting. Increasing overall durability has a lot of knock-on effects. It'll be sustained becomes more powerful. Yep. Hunting champions from reducing sustain across the board. See, that's also smart to reduce sustain because, like I said, every game would just kind of be a free win. So they're kind of just nerfing everyone. But the thing is, if everyone's nerfed, it doesn't mean that you still can't do things. So it's taking away the reason why I think Rost will be good is because even though they're gonna nerf sustain and they're gonna make him one tankier, he still does percent health damage with a lot of his abilities, and that's what people are missing out on. That's what people are missing out on. That alone. Let's see, with these sweeping durability changes coming to the Rift, we'll be keeping a very close eye on how they play out. We don't want to move a meta where tanks become unkillable. Yeah. First champions are rendered obsolete, or where pro play becomes a snooze fest. We're monitoring role and champion. I think if done properly, I understand exactly what they're going for, and I understand everything that they're saying. Essentially, what they're trying to move game into is to make it less snowbally and make it more team fighty, make it more structured, as I said earlier. And what this means for Kayn essentially is that for blue Kayn, before there was a lot more thought put into it. Nowadays, it's very dummied down. Anyone could play it. But before, you need to be very precise with your picks, and you need to make sure you had the proper resources, which means holding up on your ult, holding up on your prowlers, holding up on your combo, and his itemization has been a little bit, it's been a little bit basic. So it's not too exciting looking at Blue Kane's itemization right now, I feel like. So it's going to add a lot more factors like, okay, maybe Eclipse here, maybe Core Drinker, maybe Prowlers, maybe even Dustblade. Hey, you never know. And so Blue Kane, it's going to take a lot of doing. I'm going to need a lot of feeling around to make sure Blue Kane's still good. But Ross, on the other hand, oh, this seems amazing. This seems amazing. Longer fights equal, earlier skirmishes that are going to be longer fights. And with that being said, more orbs. And if you get your form faster on Ross, you got to take over the game faster on Ross. And Ross loves to team fight. Every time I'm ahead on Ross, no one wants to fight me, and now they will finally start getting punished because they can't just make these little picks around the map. They are forced to fight because if they're fighting longer, Kayn is a champion that ignores walls, and he's very mobile. Even runes like Water Walking might find more value because of the mobility that Kayn has. He can travel the fights a lot faster. So usually the fights are over like this, like 5 seconds. But now he's actually going to be able to make it there. He's going to be able to make it to pretty much any fight. You don't need to be there immediately. You can take your time, and in taking your time, you're able to find more value in looking for resources through the enemy jungle, through side lane, through your own jungle, and now given a lot of opportunity. So I think that's great. No, I really like what Riot is going for here. I think this is what we needed in preseason. 5 months later, it's a little bit late, but I'm not gonna say that I dislike the assassin meta. I felt like the assassin meta catered directly towards us Kayn mains because blue Kayn's kind of the I'm a little bit biased, but I'm gonna say blue Kayn's probably the best assassin out there. But either way, I think that's gonna be it. Expect to see purple Kayn more. Expect to see Ross being better than Blue Kayn until I figure out how bad assassins are going to be. And Blue Kayn, there's going to be a lot of changes with him, but I'm very excited because this is going to make Kayn a lot more exciting, a lot more interesting, bringing him back to kind of that Season 10 feel. And anyone who played Kayn in Season 10 probably remember that as I would say that was Kayn's best year. I think that was great. But either way, these changes should make League a lot more team play orientated, which I find to be great. I think if it's anyone can solo carry, if everyone's a carry, then no one's a carry. You know what I mean? All right. Well, either way, that's all I had to say about that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll catch you next time, guys.